Hey guys, so this is what we're going to make today, which is, when I showed you this in a previous tutorial, this Trapper Keeper or binder ring journal using the top note templates, printable templates. So this one I used scrapbook paper, Prima scrapbook paper. I believe it was art journal stack or paper pad. I'll put that in the description box below. And I'll link the video to that too. So a lot of you requested to see how I made that, so this is what you're going to get today. And it's an art journal, and I'm recycling a cereal box, and I'm recycling some under paper that I use when I do mixed media. And I printed all of my pages on mixed media paper. So the whole thing is an art journal, and it's just ready to go. And then I thought it would be fun, just as a little giveaway, even though I've got a giveaway going right now, but I thought it would be fun because I asked the question in my last video, something about, does anybody else say crying out loud? And a lot of you have responded to that, even sent me private messages laughing, because it is funny, because you just don't know unless you've been there. But I thought it would be really cool if you guys left a comment below and telling me what funny phrases that you all say in your neck of the woods, and certain things that are, you know, might be native to your country, or something that just seems to be native to your area. I think it would be fun to see all the different phrases. So what I thought I would do is, in the next video, we'll announce the winner. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of the comments below, one of them that makes me laugh the most. If it's hard to understand what the meaning is behind the phrase, go ahead and leave that with it too. So the person will receive the top note printable, one of the top note printable designs of their choice. So I will send you a free printable of the top note mini album. So I think that'd be fun to see to read all of the different phrases and stuff that people come up with. So I hope you enjoy this video. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like it, and I will see you later. Bye. Okay, this is mixed media paper, and it's 18 inches wide by 24 inches long. So I just cut it in half because it's going to fit, it's going to be covering the cover, so it worked just perfectly, and once it's opened up, it'll cover the whole thing. So I'm going to set that aside for now. What you're going to need is a cereal box. You need one that's rather large because it's going to be opened all the way up. And let me get my paper trimmer out. I've got the heavy duty Fiskars. Someone jokingly pointed out that I said Friskers, which does not surprise me. I mess up my words all the time. But anyway, so you want to kind of first start. You just want to make a straight edge, maybe cut the flaps off of one end. Oops, that one went a little crooked. Let's do that again. And then this art journal cover to fit the top note printable is 8 1/4 inches tall. Cut it at 8 1/4. Going through several layers there. That was at some point that was 3 layers of this cereal box. And then what you want to do is, I'm gonna put the paper trimmer up. What you want to do then is to open this cereal box up now. Oh, I shouldn't have put that up yet. Let me get it back out. Just for a second. I need to trim that little bitty flap off right there. Just the flap just the flap that holds the box together. Okay, so like I said, if you're going to make one exactly like this using the top note printable, you can use these exact measurements. So now I'm getting my Martha Stewart scoreboard out, or whatever scoreboard that you have. And what you want to do is, the first score mark will be at 6 1/8 inches from that side. And then the second score mark is going to be at 7 3/8 inches. So let's do that first. You're going to have to go a little slow so that you don't get off track. I'm going to go over it a couple times. That's the 6 1/8 inch, and then 7 3/8. And that's to account for the height of the binder rings, so it gives it plenty of room so it'll close. Okay, then you want to take the time to flip it over and go ahead and reinforce those score marks. Sorry about that noise. You really want to give it a good crease, a good sharp edge. And then go to the next one. Okay, and then you'll see there was that natural, fold there. Don't worry about that. We do not need that right now. Okay, but it kind of wants to get in my way at the moment. So then what you want to do is you want to fold this back on itself the other way on the score mark that you made. And it's just for a minute, because you want to line that score mark up to the edge of your scoreboard. Hold it firm. And then you want to, from the 7 3/8 score mark, you want to come over to the 6 1/2 inch mark, and then 7 3/4 inch. So you butt that 7 3/8 score mark up against the corner of the scoreboard there, hold it in tight, and then go over to 6 1/2, make a score, then 7 3/4, just like that. Okay, we don't need that anymore. All right, then you want to flip it over and go ahead and reinforce, make them sharp. I'm not sure if reinforce is the right way to put it, but then if you want to, the ones that have the natural folds, you can try to flatten them out, but it's really not gonna matter because we're covering the whole thing with mixed media paper, so it's going to be good and sturdy. Okay, so you should have something like this. So there was our first score mark. So there's the left hand spine, and then here is the right hand spine, and it folds over like this. So you end up with something like that. So just like my original, you end up with something like that. Okay, next step. If you want to have this top note edge on your flap, then you need to print out one of the pages of the top note printable, and then open up your cereal box there. And what you want to do is you want to take the point and go all the way up to the edge, just like that. And then there should be 1/8 of an inch from top and bottom. So just, eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. So then you want to take a pen or a pencil and just literally just trace it out. Like that. And you want to do this first. It just makes it easier when you put your mixed media paper on, or your pattern cardstock, or whatever it is that you want. And then you just want to cut this out on that line there. So now we have that scalloped edge. With this one, I have a magnet closure. And if you want a magnet closure, now is the time to do that. So I am going to put magnets, 3 of them on this side and on this side. So let me grab my magnets. These are the basic gray magnets. They're really small, but they're really strong. And what you want to do is, oops, you want to go ahead and, pair of some of them up. You need 3. Well, you don't have to have 3, but it's stronger that way, I think. So you pair some of them up like that. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a glue dot and I'm going to put it one on each side of that little, pair of magnets. And then I want to put one pretty much like on each point. So I'm just going to put it about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch away from the end of the paper, because it's going to, I'm going to need some space here to glue. Alright, so I'm going to do that with all 3. Alright. So then, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to find something to stick under here. There we go, perfect. This is just a roll of Scotch masking tape. So I want to be able to press down a little bit, but I know that for example, this part right here is shorter than the base of the journal, so I need to make sure I compensate for that. And give it a press on all 3 points. Alright, so since I'm going to use a binder clip, and it's going to be going right around here, I need to cover the inside of this journal first. So I'm going to need to grab one of my pieces here, or decide which one I want on the inside and which one I want on the outside. I'm going to use this as the inside because I kind of like the little splats of colors on that one. So all you really need to do is use your favorite wet glue. I'm going to use Faber-Castell. It tacks really quickly, and you can smoosh it around really good. And it's good, like if you're going to use wet media on in your art journal, it should stand up to that pretty good. So you just want to cover everything. So this is going to take a minute, so I'll fast forward. Alright, so I've got the whole thing covered in the Faber-Castell glue. So then we just want to flip it over. And since I saw them hearts, I think I want to use them. So I'm not going to go all the way up to the edge because I'm pretty sure it is not a straight edge. Alright, let me find my bone folder. And then literally you just want to take the time to go and get every little edge around the magnets. Just want to make sure that you're getting it. Okay, so if I flip that over, okay, that'll work. That's what I wanted. So now I'm going to see about folding these. I know I'm folding them the wrong way at the moment. Let's do it this way. There we go. And this, I'm going to do this before I trim it out. Just give it a really good press. And then to the next one. Whoops, sorry. Hello. Just take your time. I'm going to go to the first one, which is the closing flap. Put that over. And then one more. It's this one right here. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to trim it out. You can do it with your scissors. You can do it with a craft knife. I think I'm going to use a craft knife. I'm going to grab my Score Pal, whatever, cutting mat. My Prima craft knife. So basically you just want to take your time and go right up next to that edge. I am pressing pretty hard, only because I'm going through mixed media paper, and I have a feeling it won't cut through the first time. Oh, not bad, not too shabby. Awesome. So then I think that's the only one I'm going to use that for. I'm going to use the scissors for the straight edges. So then I'm just literally going to go butt right up next to the cereal box. And it's not going to be perfect, but what in life is perfect? Alrighty. So, when you flip it the right way, see the inside is now covered. Let's see how those magnets do now with the one layer of. Look at there! Yay! It's holding it. Oops! Look at there. You probably want to give your glue just a little more time than I did before you start manipulating it. So, alright, next step is to add the binder rings. Now, like I said, this is a Tim Holtz binder ring, and it's the bigger of the two. I'm not even sure they sell the smaller ones anymore. So what you want to do is, with these measurements, you want to come. There's that fold mark right there. You want to come at least 1/4 of an inch away from that score mark, so that would be the second score mark that you made, and then equal spacing top and bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these brads out, so if it can go straight without hitting it, you're in business. So then you just kind of want to gauge. That's 1/4 3 inches, 1/4 3. Oh, for heaven's sake. That is 1 3/4 inches. And this is 1 5/8 inches. That's not going to work. Let's scoot it over a little bit. Okay. Alright. That is exactly middle. So let me mark that so that I don't end up losing my place there. So I need to make sure I've got, yep, my arms a little cockeyed there. The right spacing here. I feel like I need to go over just a little bit. Okay. And then I think I'm going to make sure it's straight too. Yep, it is. Alright, so now I'm just going to mark these holes here. You can just fill in that whole hole. Hole? Ho, ho, ho. It's not Christmas time. I'm not going to use a punch because it won't be as tight as I would like for it to be. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take my paper piercer and I'm going to go right in the middle just like that, and then I'm just going to kind of wiggle it around a little bit. I'm going to do that for both holes. Like that. So then all you got to do is line this back up. Get your brads that come with the binder thingy. You could probably even recycle an old binder. Take it apart and use it. And I'm going to force it through that hole, and before I clamp it down, before I make it tight, I'm going to put both of the brads on there. Okay, there we go. Alright, and before, like I said, before I clamp it down, I'm going to double check to make sure that I'm lining it up with the 2 marks that I made and that I can still close it. And I can, so now I'm going to gently flip it over and open these prongs up real quick so it doesn't move. And then I'm going to tighten them down pretty good. Alright, so our binder rings are now on there. And everything is closing up nicely. Perfect. I don't know if you can see down in there. Probably not very well. But there's just like 1/8 of an inch between the spine and the binder rings. You can't really tell, but that's what it is. Okay, so next step is doing the front cover. This one's a little bit trickier because we've got that binder ring on there. So I think what I'm going to do maybe a little bit at a time, maybe. I forgot how I did the other front cover, but that's what I think I'm going to try to do this time. I'm going to start, I'm going to start on this edge, I think, the flap. So I'm just, well, you shouldn't do this, by the way. You should let it come down naturally so it doesn't erupt. I had that problem in my last video where it kept wanting to erupt on me. Okay. I think I'm going to do the flap and this first spine area right here. Or, you know what? No, I'm going to go, no, that's what I'm going to do. No, it's not. I can't make up my mind. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue it all the way up to the score mark that's right after the binder clips. I think that might be the best thing to do here. You know what? I've changed my mind. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and cover the whole thing with glue. What the heck? Alright, now I'm going to get my other piece, and this is the front cover piece. So basically, I'm going to flip this around and flip this over top, like this. I'm not going to go to the edge, just like I did on the inside. Alright, you want to do the same thing. You just really want to give it good pressure. Alright, and then you just want to do the same thing and start to gently, well, that's not going to work, crease. That one's probably going to be the hardest one because of the binder clip. Flip it over this way. And then you want to find that one. And that one. I'm going to trim off that side. Hang on, let me get the... And take your scissors and trim it out the same way you did the inside. Oh look, that even says right there, you probably can't even see it, but it says Genevieve. Alright, so it's all trimmed out. Look, I got it a little past that edge where I had taped it down to my workspace here. A white edge, that's okay though. I can use ink. So now we just want to keep manipulating it. Alright, so I wanted to show you, because I used mixed media paper that has already been used, it's a little bit more warpy. So it's going to have a little bit more of a warpy kind of look to it, which is okay. But I also wanted to show you, since I didn't wait for my glue to dry, do you see how paper pulled away after I trimmed it? It pulled back from the edge. I didn't give it enough time to dry, but I can you tell? Yep. But I can ink it up and maybe just add it as an extra little detail. You know, maybe use some Faber-Castell pens or something and just make that like a little dark strip right there. That might be kind of cool, right? Let's see what I can do with it real quick. Let's try ink first. I'm gonna use the archival ink and coffee. Let's see if it, no, not really. I mean, I'm gonna ink the whole thing up anyway, you know, go along all the edges and stuff, but it didn't really help with that. It still kind of stands out. So let me grab my Faber-Castell box. All right, here's my big box of Faber-Castell Pitt artist pens. I'm going to start with dark sepia and see if that works. I might have to use black. Oh, no. Look at it's working. Woohoo! So now I just added me a little special detail to my flap. Oh, love it. Now I'm going to go along this edge here. Oh, look at there. Oh, look, it wiped off. Yay. Got a little excited and it fell off the edge. So I'll take my time here. Yep. Did it do it anywhere else? Not really. Look at there. Doesn't that look nice? Look, happy accidents. Bob Ross used to say that, didn't he? Happy accidents. All right, so like I said, I am going to ink. I am going to ink. Oh, for crying out loud! I am going to ink the edges. If I would just slow down. Look, I said for crying out loud again. Yeah, it was funny. Last video I said that. And then I was asking if, you know, if you all say that, or is it something that's unique to Kentucky, or anybody that's kind of country sounding. But most of you said no, which was funny. So it's nice to know that we're not the only ones that talk like that. Alright, that looks really nice. I like it. Alright, next thing is I have in this original prototype, not a prototype, it's actually an actual usable journal. I have pockets, one on each, you know, one on the front cover and one on the back of the journal. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to add the pockets to these so that we have a place to hold smaller stuff. I printed I used the text design here, and I printed it on mixed media paper. Now, I will say that the mixed media paper is 140 pound, which I don't know what that is in the other weight system. And my printer had a really tough time with that. It did not like it. Let me see. And then I used 90 pound watercolor paper, and the printer, it was fine. It didn't have a problem at all. So this is the watercolor paper, 90 pound, and then this is the 140 pound mixed media paper. So there's a big difference in the weight. So this one I had a tough time getting through my printer. This one went through just like a regular cardstock would go through. That's just a little hint there, a little tip if you're going to try to print. What I wanted to do to print anything heavy, I know there's another one. There we go. What I wanted to do is make an art journal, like literally an art journal. So that's why I used paper that you can use wet media on. But like I said, you may want to try a heavy weight in your printer just to see if it'll work. Mine really struggled, so just so you know. But like I still had these out on my desk, so this is the library pocket, and I started just playing to see, is it going to work? What's it going to look like? And that's obviously just uber simple. But yeah, it's pretty cool. This is even the pocket, so it was fun trying to get around the pocket and everything. So okay, so what I'm going to do is those pieces. This is one of the printables. Whoops. And this is the one that I printed on the watercolor paper. Since this is the only thing I printed on the watercolor paper, I'm going to use these as the pockets. So I'm just going to ink them up really quick. Alright, so this is pretty straightforward. All you need to do is open your book up here. See how now it's really stiff? You're going to have to keep working it so that it's not so stiff. I'm going to use my Faber-Castell glue again by Beacon, and I'm just going to go around the 3 edges that don't have the top note design or the top note edge. And it's just really to hold, like, especially for art journals, you know, you have these little scraps sometimes and you're like, I don't want to throw it away, I want to keep it. You can just stuff it in this little pocket and it's there when you want it. So you just want to kind of try to center it, so basically it ends up being less than 1/4 of an inch, but not quite, just 1/8 of an inch. Just want to center it on there. And then you can also art journal on that as well. So I'm going to do that for both of these pockets. And this one I'm going to have going this way. This one I had to butt it up right next to the binder ring there. So now I got 2 pockets that I can art journal on or not be afraid to get anything on it. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to poke holes. So what I like to do is I like to take, let me find it here. I like to take the square, just the plain square page. And all of these, unless it was a pocket just about, I cut them in half because I thought that's more surface to art journal on. So I'm going to pay attention when I poke the hose. Like I might have it like this so that I can have them next to each other and have like a double page kind of deal. So what you want to do is take one of your pages. You want to center it up. Well, you can actually use that pocket that you put on there if you want to. You just kind of want to get it up in there really close. Take a pencil and you just kind of want to mark where the holes are. Now, let's see, the best way to try to gauge how far away from the edge, did I mark them really good? Is to maybe 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, I need to glue this down. I think I'm going to end up taking some glossy accents or something and put it underneath there so it doesn't wiggle so much. So I'm going to try just to poke a 1/4 of an inch from the edge, and I'm going to use my Crocodile by We Are Memory Keepers. I'm going to use the bigger hole And I'm going to use the markings on the side there, and there's a 1/4 of an inch mark there. I'm going to line up my mark. I mean, you know, the worst thing that happened, I'm going to have to print another one, or just have a really big hole. Alright. So yeah, that's perfect. Let me close it. That is wonderful. Sorry, so now I'm going to go ahead and poke all my holes. I'm going to do that off camera, and I shall return. Okay, so I've got all of my pages punched, and in here, I didn't really put them in any kind of order because the whole idea is to be able to open up the rings, take the page out, and work on it on a different surface. So what I mean by that is you don't have to print them all out and stuff them in here. You can print them out as you want them. Like I said, I did poke some holes on some of them that, you know, so have a double page thing. So I kind of kept those together so they wouldn't get lost. And there's that one little page I made there, just playing. Some of the tags and things, I just made them into pages because those holes can always be covered up. Since it's mixed media, you can do just about whatever. If it's too many pages, you just take some out and make another binder. So it's really kind of, the sky's the limit with this type of binding system. But I really like the idea of using the printables as mixed media pages because you've got something to start with. Sometimes blank pages are extremely intimidating. Like this side of the paper, you might be like, I don't know what to do. But while you're working on this side, because you've got at least some place to start, you've got one layer already, you're going to get stuff on the back side, so then you'll have a place to start. Or vice versa, depending on, you know, what your style is. So there it is. It's that simple. I will try to put all of the materials that I used in the description box below. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And don't forget to leave me a comment below telling me what phrases are native to your area. I think that'll be fun. So in my next video, I will announce the winner of that. So again, what I'm going to do is the one that makes me laugh the most, I am going to give that person one of the top note printables of their choice, one of the designs of their choice, so they can make this for themselves. But yeah, I think it'll be fun to hear all the different funny phrases from different parts of the world. And even, you know, in the same parts of the world, the different areas. So again, thumbs up, leave me a comment, and I'll see you next time.